Angelo, you wrote a wall post or whatever. You wanna explain that?
Well, first of all, I want to say good evening to everybody, including Ernie. How you doing?
Doing good.
So about mid-morning, I don't know, 8:30, 9:30, I got a call from a detective that had been contacted by Ernie Shell. Ernie had filed a report, very extensive report actually, and the detective wanted to speak with me. And after about 3 hours of back and forth with the detective and actually meeting with him in a small hot room in person, he had gone over some documents that Ernie had sent him and had verified them through whatever sources that the detective had. And that includes some things that I have claimed were false, in some sense of fashion false. One of them was the Trump Tower thing. And let me clarify what I mean by this. I am not in any way saying that Ernie worked directly for the Trumps. I'm saying that Ernie performed the task of security through an agency for Trump Towers, just as he did at the Kyle Rittenhouse trial for an agency. And I'm familiar with those agencies because I've worked with those agencies and they pay very well, so you'd be a fool not to take the contracts. They are typically contracts that range anywhere from 15, 20, 30, 45, 60, 65, 90, up to a year in length. They do require extensive backgrounds. They do require to have some tactical sense and technical knowledge, whether it's with weapons or hand-to-hand combat. All the certifications that Ernie had sent to the detective were vetted by the detective and were proven to be correct. So I stand corrected on those things. It was then told by the detective that both Ernie and I were being stupid. We were both smart, stubborn individuals that when we sink our teeth into something, we don't want to let it go. And for that, he suggested that we have a conversation. So with the detective's directive, we had a conversation because the last message I'd gotten from Ernie and I had respected was to no longer contact him and to leave him alone. And I did. The detective reached out to Ernie, bridged the communication, and then Ernie and I had our discussions. And in order for us to have the closure, Ernie wanted some stuff from me, and I wanted one specific thing from Ernie. And that was the agreement that we had made. So far, so good, Ernie?
You got it.
Whether we like it or not, Ernie has a bail bonds license. I don't know how that operates in Tennessee, if it makes him a bounty hunter or however it works. I'm not familiar with any of that stuff, but he is a licensed bail bondsman, whether we like it or not. And bail bonds do get access to specific systems, much similar, not as extensive, but similar to police, that allow them to do their tracing and tracking of individuals that are coming up on whatever warrants or whatever needs that they need for that. I have no control over that. I also have no control over stolen valor. And I say stolen valor in a way that it's mostly a federal crime, and all I can do is report it. Whatever happens federally is what happens federally. At this point in juncture, nobody really takes the stolen valor stuff seriously enough to do anything about it. So I'm at an impasse. I have spent thousands of dollars, time, pain and suffering, mental anguish, and just a bunch of resources that could be better spent somewhere else. And to be honest with you, all Ernie and I would be doing when we go to court is spending thousands of dollars for a judge to tell us the same thing that this detective told us for free, which is shut the fuck up, do your handshake, come to an agreement, and walk the fuck away. The agreement that Ernie and I came to was me stating these facts from a detective. If you guys don't like the facts, I suggest getting your own detectives and have them do the same thing. But it's my detective. It's my detective telling me that this information is accurate. So why would my detective lie to me? It's not Ernie telling me this information. It's a detective telling me this information. So I have no other avenues to go. What I will state, and Ernie can correct me if I'm wrong, the detective did verify that I did not forge his signature. Correct? Thank you.
Yeah.
I did not forge his signature. That battle, if he wants it, is with another agency, and that's for them to figure out if they want to do it.
It was forged, but the chances are not by Angelo. That's exactly what the detective said.
Yes, and that was based on the evidence that both Ernie submitted and I submitted. Okay, so really the detective's suggestion was that we come to some sort of an agreement, and I had a discussion with Ernie. We talked for, I don't know, I think with the detective was like 3 hours, give or take, altogether, and then with Ernie for about an hour, maybe all combined. And for me, with Ernie, it's the military stuff. I don't have any sweat inside of this child predator hunting stuff. I don't involve myself in stuff. Nobody will find me involved in that stuff. I don't do the missing children thing. I'm not in any of that. That's not my wheelhouse. And I asked Ernie, I said, will you agree under the law, the way a veteran is described, will you agree to go on the camera and say that you, under the law, are not a veteran. And
Because of the time.
not just the timing, just everything all together. It's not to detract that he did sign a contract, folks. He signed a contract. He did something that still 1% of the population does. And for whatever reason, it didn't finish. I can't investigate that. I have no clout. I have no ability to get information that just is not available to me. So with that said, Ernie and I came to the agreement. I made my post. He's supposed to make a post, and then we're supposed to do this panel with Katie. At the same time, I also told him I have no control over what these people are going to say or do outside of that. My focus was the military. I have no other sauce inside of the game of any of the other stuff that goes on with Ernie, with Ernie's crew, with Ernie's people, with my people, and I'm not involved in any of that stuff. I'm done battling somebody that I have hit a wall with. And it's happened before numerous times with other people that I fought online. You get to a point where you're either going to just mentally and psychologically hurt each other until somebody takes it to court, and you're going to spend time and money in court for a court to basically tell you the same thing that we all as adults should know, which is at some point, let the fuck go and move the fuck on. That being said, I thank everybody for what they've done to help support me in that aspect. But we are talking about my time and my money. And I've spent enough time and I've spent enough money trying to figure out why I can't get this guy locked up. And the fact of the matter is, not to steal your line, Ernie, is because the government just doesn't give a fuck. Under the First Amendment, he has a right to claim all of the shit that he claims, even if I'm disgusted by it. And to continue the fighting with him is not going to solve anything. It's only going to irritate me to become something I'm not.
Angela, can I cut in for a second? Ernie, can you please say it out of your own mouth that you're stolen valor?
Let Angelo finish that. Please.
This is my panel, though. You know what I mean?
Well, see, I never claimed it. But go ahead.
That's where I'm at. So I mean, like the detective.
You never claimed you were a veteran?
I'm gonna mute so you can go, Ernie.
Yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead. So
Right,
with that in with time, and that's what we discussed, and while all of about it, I do not have enough time in to prove veteran status.
So you're stolen valor.
I never claimed it.
You claimed being a veteran, correct?
It depends on how you look at it. Some people say yes, some people say no.
You've said you were a veteran many, many times, correct?
Okay.
You said you were a veteran. Do you agree or disagree?
I can be a veteran.
How can you be a veteran?
Go ahead, Angelo.
Do you have a DD 214?
So, in addressing that, there are steps that all soldiers can take. And regardless of how we want to look at Ernie, for 56 days, he was a soldier.
Right, but Ernie, did you complete your contract? When you signed up, did you complete your contract?
No.
Therefore, you are not a veteran, correct?
Under the law.
Under the law, I guess.
You are not an American veteran of the U.S. Army.
However way you want to say that, Katie.
Will you continue to call yourself a veteran?
I didn't in the first place.
Push 1 in the chat if you have heard Ernie call himself a veteran. Push 2 in the chat if you have heard Ernie deny being a veteran. Are you saying you've never called yourself a veteran?
I'm a soldier.
Are you saying you've never called yourself a veteran, Ernie?
Look, it depends on what side. It depends on what side of the fence you're on about it. If
No,
you
it's
say
just a
I have
straightforward
time, then I don't
question.
have no time. It's as simple as that.
No, you did not complete basic training, correct?
No, I did complete basic training.
You completed basic training?
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%.
Angela, did he complete basic training?
I haven't seen any records that show that.
So we're back at square root 1. I'm not going to say that I didn't do something I didn't do. I did. In fact, also, Angelo.
Ernie, you didn't have 19 kills in Serbia.
No. I already admitted that. I already admitted playing with that.
Just an example.
Also, I have allegiancy and I have a portal from ICAC that our company is affiliated with ICAC. And we do have our agency as an agency listed for ICAC.
Yes, Tiger Ops is registered for access with ICAC and VCAT. which is the internet crimes against children and the violent crimes against children. Again, I will verify stuff that could be verified, Ernie. I have not seen any evidence from you that shows that you've completed basic or AIT. The only records I have are the records that we obtained, which under the law, and again, if I'm saying what I need to say, I need to hear it from you. Under the law.
Under the law. I said it. I don't have enough time in to probably say veteran status because of what happened. I'll say that.
Again, and I don't know what happened. I don't have access to any of that information, and I probably never will, because this is where we're supposed to be ending this.
But I can.
So
but I can go through and get my veteran status once I show what happened.
And that's true for any soldier that was uncharacterized or dishonorably discharged from the military. Any person can go and try to get their status upgraded to be a veteran. That's 100% true. If you can provide the evidence, the time, and the money, and the lawyer that you need to go through and get all that information pushed up, I'm not going to stand in your way on that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
But as
so what would be
under the law?
Okay, so under the law. Okay, so under the law, as opposed to what?
What do you mean?
Not under the law? I don't understand. So under the law, he's not a veteran, as opposed to what?
Okay, so the law describes veterans as a person that has completed at least 180 days of active duty service, which is typically basic training, AIT, and maybe a little bit of their first duty station. With National Guard, they get 1 day for every day of training as active duty time, plus their basic and plus their AIT. That would give them something called a DD-214. The DD-214 would give them the current active duty time that they had spent in the military, whether it's National Guard or active duty time. And it has to equal at least 180 days of a contract that they have signed. In Ernie's case, he signed a 6 and 2 contract, 6 years National Guard, and then 2 years active reserves, I think it was. So if he had completed that, even the 6-year contract, even half of that, he definitely would have had veteran status, because that would have given him 180 days of active duty time between that time and basic and AIT. Because I think with the National Guard, you get 1 weekend a month, which equals 2 days of active duty time. In this case, he had 56 days. So the way the military looks at it is that it's not.
But I was in a total of a year and 16. A year and 16 months is what, or what was it?
1 year, 6 months.
1 year, 6 months. Yeah, 7 days.
Again, I don't know enough about the National Guard to know how that works. What I saw was they were unable to find you as far as your discharge paperwork goes. They couldn't find you, so eventually they just discharged you without notice. And you're claiming that that's attributed to some sort of an accident that you had that laid you up for whatever, I guess, that amount of time, and what have you. And then eventually you went into the State Guard. Again, we have a difference of opinion here. The State Guard is not the National Guard. It is not the military. You don't get military credit for it. You get resume points, of course, but you don't get any status in the military with it, even though they give you uniforms and ranks and structures. Again, this is based on facts that I can document and see through documents. I'm not going to say something that's not there. It's not true.
Well, again, that's on another side of the fence. You do get military paperwork. You do get field reports. You get your paperwork. You get your assignments. You get your operations. You get your missions. And you do work with FEMA a lot, especially with pods.
Again, stolen. Yes, I got questions in the side chat. Yes, stolen valor is a felony, but you still have to find the person that will take it to court, and those people are few and far between, unfortunately. Again, I have no control over what agencies do. I report, and that's it. I'm not these other people that come up with these weird, crazy stories about having conferences with Secret Service and all this other stuff. I've never pretended to be that person. I've never claimed to be that person. I've recorded what I've done. I've stated what I've done, and I've produced what I've done. That's it. I'm not willing to break the law to go after somebody breaking the law. And again, I've spent my time and my money on this. And it's come to the point where I spent 3 hours in a room with a detective, basically giving me the third degree about everything that's led up to this moment right now. And if Ernie and I decide to pursue this, we're both going to end up in court. We both could probably end up with charges. And eventually we're both going to be out of a lot of money and time for what?
The big thing about it is, and like I said, we both talked to the detective for hours upon hours. And the detective, like the detective told me, and I know he told Angelo the same thing because he told me the same thing. We both could press charges on each other right now. We both could go to jail. We both could get things done. But the fact of the matter is, it does not do anything because we come right back here again. To the same point, we come back here again. I've got my career right now with Tiger Ops. We just signed something else with ICAC, and we're going to continue doing what we're doing. So I've got more things on the plate. I've got a film career that we're getting ready to start here in 22 days. Well, in 11 days, but it's 22 days altogether. But I've got a lot to do with that, and I would rather, drop all this, be done with it, get my pardon from the governor, and be done with all this, and go from what needs to be done, which is the whole point about it. The detective's exact word was, both of you all are remarkable people. You're very, very smart. Both of you are legit in your own ways, and you're wasting your time fighting with each other. It's not going anywhere. So, there.
What does your current driver's license say about your veteran status?
It's not been changed.
Is it going to be changed?
I don't know, and I've already had a conversation with them. They've had conversations. It is what it is. I'm not worried about that. The part I was worried about, it wasn't the veteran stuff anyways I was ever worried about. It was where the validation about human trafficking stuff and things I've done with VGAC and ICAC. That's all I cared about. That's all I cared about.
I mean, we already I guess none of us, that's not what any of us cared about really. Like you wanted to prove
what you all cared about. But anyways, that's exactly what I brought up. It was before the veteran status stuff. It was before that. Go ahead.
I had an issue with the stolen valor stuff. That's what I had an issue with. I had an issue with
you didn't have that issue. You didn't have that issue until about 3 or 4 months ago. It's on record, okay? You had an issue.
No,
but your issue was other things. Okay, then it was before that. Then it's still your issue was about saying and discrediting me, which you'll never be able to do that. So there. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be mean. I brought my popcorn ready for this stuff. I'm not trying to be mean to nobody. I've got my things to do. I am legit when it comes to the FBI, when it comes to VCAC, which is violent crimes against children, and when it comes against ICAC, or to ICAC, which is we have an agency that we are part of ICAC. So I don't care about anything else.
I never argued you not working with agencies to do security. I never argued that. That wasn't my problem. Did I ever bring up?
Just to caveat that, knowing that you have access to something, that's all I know. I don't know what you do with that. So I'm not validating any of that. All I'm validating is that you have access to that and you perform these tasks. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Are you abusing that access? Because we have a lot of footage of you saying that you abuse those.
I never said I abused anything.
Those resources, like to look up people and stuff. Are you? I'm
fully licensed to be able to do that. I'm fully licensed to do whatever I do with skip tracing. I'm a skip tracer. That's what I do. So, you all can take it.
Skip trace?
I'm a bounty hunter. What we do.
So you are a bounty hunter.
The bail bonds license is legit.
Okay.
It's real. I mean, it's been looked into by other people. I don't know what he does with it, but it's definitely legitimate.
I had to take terrorist training. I had to take HTKAT training and all that stuff for the Trump Tower stuff. The Trump Tower was detailed security in and outside. I had special clearances to go places nobody else could go in Trump Towers. So I verified all that.
Do you think that being a security guard makes you a veteran?
Being a security guard definitely does not make you a veteran in the U.S. Army. However, it does make you a veteran in the security field, which is the same thing as being a professional. But as in the U.S. Army, no, it does not make you a veteran in that location of professionalism.
Are you a veteran of signing up then?
What do you mean signing up? A veteran of signing up?
Are you a veteran of signing up for the military?
I don't even know what you mean by that. I have no idea.
I mean, that's what you did. You signed up. Are you a veteran of?
I did sign up for the military. Yes.
But you never served. So, do y'all get what I mean?
No, we don't.
You never served, so you're not a veteran of the Army, really. You're a veteran of signing up. You know what I mean?
You don't even know what you're talking about.
Do you understand what I mean, Angelo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I want to reiterate because I don't think it's clear enough. Ernie is not a veteran under the law. As the law describes veterans, he is not a veteran.
But what is he? Okay, but what is he a veteran under then? If it's not under the law, what is he a veteran under?
He's not a
like
veteran.
God? What? God?
Not a veteran of the military. And as for the other stuff, all I can verify is he had the license and he had the contract. I don't know what pertained or what things he did in that contract other than he had a contract to do a job and did the job, whatever that job was. That's all I know. But I also know that I've spent 18 months doing this and we're still at the same point. And I'm not telling anybody that they have to change their views on Ernie. You can do whatever the hell y'all want to do. All I'm saying is that my investment in this situation is done.
Mm-hmm. So, then how does he have veteran? Well,
I have no idea.
hold on. What did Behind Green Eyes say? How does he have veteran on his license? Is that license alive? It's going to get reissued.
I have no idea. All I know is what the commissioner told me, and the commissioner told me it was being reissued.
Yeah.
Again, I can't make these agencies do anything. I am just a civilian.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I'm waiting for Ernie to admit that he has said he was a veteran.
He worked for Kelly's Security with the Trump Tower contract.
Sure did. And I told you that like back when it first started.
I thought it was Huffmaster, but that was a different contract somewhere else.
I did. Well, Huffmaster was with Kyle Rittenhouse.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Are you?
That's a valid contract because I was contacted by Huffmaster for the same contract.
They pay very well.
Yeah,
Very.
I mean, they pay well. Whatever.
And you also contacted the reporter.
Yes.
Were you a security guard or a protective agent?
I was an executive protection. Well, I am an executive protection specialist. I had a blue card and a white card, which Angelo knows about that. He's familiar with that. And I had special clearances inside and outside of Trump Tower.
For the record, I know what those cards are. I have not seen those cards.
Right. Well, I'm getting that right now. I'm looking that up. I'm trying to look that up right now.
Again, I'm about facts. The license for the Trump Tower contract was armed guard. The license for Kyle Rittenhouse was unarmed guard. Just put facts out there. Again, look, guys, I know people aren't liking this, and that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm the one that spent 3 hours in a small room with a detective. My detective from my town. Okay? He has no reason to side with Ernie because he basically told both of us we're fucking idiots. Okay? So he has no reason to side with Ernie or any reason to side with me, but he's my detective, not Ernie's detective. It's not like I'm in a room with Perry County doing it. This was my detective.
There was Prime and the other detective was on your side, and they're your detectives. Both of them.
I wouldn't say necessarily on my side per se, but
They're your detectives, though. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
They weren't really on either side. They basically saw this whole entire thing as stupid. And for those who don't understand what that means, I've been to court for things like this on numerous other occasions, and it cost time and money. Nobody went to jail. Nothing got accomplished except maybe some documentation of where I worked, which was also called into question numerous times. I do work for FEMA. Doesn't matter whether it's for free or not. I still work there. It doesn't matter how I work there.
Yeah, that's been verified. That's been verified. You do. You are with the
police.
With the cadre. Yes, you do. You do. Yes, you do. And you over in you've done a lot of things with people. And I'll say that. I'll tell everybody that. It's all been verified.
This is, everybody's gone through a different thing with Ernie, and they have valid reasons to be upset with him and hate him. One thing I learned on this platform over the last year is that the hate and anger solve absolutely nothing. It just makes you become poisoned. You get poisoned, you get sick, and you start forgetting the things that you care about. That's not who I want to be. All right. I'm not going to get Ernie jailed for stolen valor as much as I tried. I'm not going to lie. I reported him to everybody I could, and every single one would do a small little investigation and be like, it's not in our jurisdiction. It's not our jurisdiction. We can't do it. That's a felony level. You have to go through felony for stolen valor. For stolen valor, you have to prove this, and that. And no matter what I was sending them, again, I would only send things when I had an accurate, reportable thing to send. I've never swatted Ernie. I've never lied about Ernie to any investigation team or detective or agent or sheriff, ever. And a lot of people may not agree with this, and that's fine. You don't have to agree with it. But I'm at an impasse where, again, I'm not willing to cross a certain line and break the law to get somebody that's breaking the law or broke the law. I can't. I just can't do that. I know a lot of people on here from other sides will do that. They will lie. They'll CPS call you. They'll SWAT you. They'll lie about your background. They'll call you a pedophile. They'll call you a gay or a faggot or whatever terms that they like to use to basically belittle you and make you insignificant. That's not who I am, and I'm not interested in that kind of battle. And that's where I'm at if I keep going with my fight against Ernie. So after spending 3 hours in a room with a detective and being told one thing by the detective and being told that we need to work things out, the smart move is to work things out and move the fuck along to my passion, which is my charity work and helping families that need it. And If that causes you to unsubscribe or hate me, ain't nothing I can do about that. But it's not going to stop me from doing my job as channel managers for the channels I manage. I'm still going to protect your channel. I'm still going to make sure that your strikes get removed and all of that stuff, because that's where I stand. But I am just no longer going to be fighting with Ernie.
For all of you people that are calling Angelo names and hating on him and you're mad at him, you're wasting your time, okay? Angelo is probably the most disappointed in how this all came out. He has been the one that has stayed on Ernie's neck throughout all this. He has spent a lot of his time and a lot more of his money, okay? And he did not want to come back and give this kind of news. This wasn't what we wanted to happen, okay? So just leave him, like, it's not Angelo's fault, okay? It's not Angelo's fault, and he deserves respect for trying how hard he tried. Now, Ernie, what did what prove, Benny? He brought the truth. I mean, that's what happened. He came up here and told what happened because he's gonna be honest with y'all. Like, what did you want him to say? I don't understand. I understand that Ernie is feeling like he won something, that he's all smug sitting there with that smirk eating popcorn. But listen, I'm going to say this. Ernie can go fuck himself, okay? Ernie is going to stay fucked. I don't like him. I think he is a liar. I think he is a piece of shit. I think he has stolen valor. I don't give a fuck if it's under God, under the sofa that he currently sleeps on, under the fucking, in the tunnels, underground, under whatever, every and anything. He is stolen valor. I don't give a fuck what Angelo says. I don't give a fuck about the loopholes and the language and all this shit. He's stolen valor. He's a fraud. He lied. He lied. He's a liar. He lies about what he does. He lies about his accomplishments. I don't give a fuck what kind of little agencies he worked for, or whatever, being security or high, whatever. He could be Batman in the security world. That wasn't my issue. My issue has always been that he has stolen valor. He will not produce forms. He says a whole lot of shit. And if he did have that DD, I mean, he has gone on and on. He faked cancer. He lied about having HIV. He is he's a scammer. He doesn't have to be any of these things that Angelo was trying to prove in order for me to feel the way I do about nothing. Like, that doesn't change how I feel about him at all. There is nothing respectable about that man. Nothing respectable. Nothing. I think what makes me the most frustrated is that he is, am I a veteran of being, I don't know, am I a veteran of, I guess we can be veterans of anything we've concluded in our lives. That's why I asked him, is he a veteran for signing up to be in the military? Is he a veteran of that? He did not, he didn't do any of that shit. Now, Ernie is going to break his agreement with the detective, so we'll just wait for that to happen because he can't shut his mouth. But either way, Ernie, if you think you've won anything, you have not. You and your saggy titty sister wives can go celebrate being a veteran not a veteran under the law. I mean, a veteran under the law is kind of the only thing that matters, in my opinion. And you're not. I still feel the same way about you being not qualified to go rescue children. I still feel the same way about you having a part in your brother's situation. I still think that you are a liar, and that's all I have to say. You threatened me. I don't know if you're still suing me. I don't know what. You threatened my animals. You threatened taking my parents' money. Like, at the end of the day, I don't even remember what did he say mattered so much to him? Using the little what were those things? You being able to use those little programs or whatever. I didn't even know. I wasn't checking for that. I was just all about the stolen valor.
So if you're going to take that as a win for me, then I'll take it. If it's a loss for me, then I'll take it. I don't care how it is. It's over. It's over. It's over. I'm done. I'm done with it. Now I get to move on. I have my movie career. I have my film career. I have what I'm doing with the protection career. And I also have what we're doing with our combatant child predators. And that's what we're going to do. And we are verified through ICAC and PCAC. And that means everything to me. Working with those people Working with those people is everything. My team, the people who I am getting ready to start training on them people, is going to be everything to me. That's what it is for me. Now, I'm not worried about how much hate somebody has on somebody, okay? I don't care. I don't care about that. I have people who want me for stuff. That's fine. I am available. I've done a contract today. I was looking at a contract today. We're going to go over that contract, and we're going to do what we can do to fix that. Right now, I'm focusing on my health and building about 12 or 13 pounds of straight muscle back up and doing what I need to do with this movie, with this film. Let's just say film and short films, things they want me to do. That's going to be promoting awareness and general awareness. Now, exactly, Naked Tiger. That's a good one right there. And you just got verified. It got verified. And my DTT number is verified. My HTTC number is verified. My ICAC association agencies with co-owner of Tiger Ops is verified. Okay? That's all I wanted to do. I don't care about the other stuff. Because you know what that tells me? I've done 98.9% more than you other YouTubers have ever done. Okay? Think about that. Katie, even having to me, he rescued one child. I rescued 4 children. And it's going to continue. It's going to continue because we are back and better than ever. Now, what can you say you've done? I don't even care. I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't care about it. I ain't worried about it. I'll build myself up the way I need to be. And that's the way it's going to be, people. I don't have to prove this and prove that. And I'm tired of having to run back from this house to another house just to not dox my area and dox my place. I mean, I don't have to worry about that now. I don't have to worry about that at all. People are like, how can you use these equipment? And Katie, that ain't what I was wanting to verify. Is the fact that I can use this special equipment for skip tracing. That's the least of it. It's the DCAC, the ICAC, and what my agency stands for. That's what I wanted because I know what that leads into. I know what that leads into. And I'm so freaking proud of that. I'm proud of that moment in my life and those moments that I got to represent a team and be a part of the team who not only stood for the right reasons, but they stood for you, your children, and your future children. Your future children is what I'm trying to talk about, is your future children. That is what we represented. Thank you. Now, I don't care if you want to be my friend, if you don't want to be my friend, if you subscribe, if you don't, it don't matter to me. Don't care. I don't care. I have nothing against anybody. But, just like I told Katie, if she keeps pushing bullshit, she will end up with a detective in a room for a few hours. And it's not going to look good because nothing she can prove. She can't prove anything. It's a fact. And I'll go that route. And do I have HIV? Yes, I have HIV. I do. And there's nothing I can do about that. Nothing I can do about that. Am I undetectable? Yes. Am I healthier than I ever have been in my whole entire life? Hell yes. Hell yes. I'm proud of what I am now. I'm proud of what I become because I work very hard. Very, very hard. My deal with Angelo is over. It's over. Our arguments, our troubles is over. It's done. I respect him for who he is and what he is. I respect him for the people he's helped and who will continue to help. Okay? My part with Angelo is over with. I made the agreement today in front of the detective, in front of Angelo, and I will keep my part. Okay? I will keep my part. Could I put Angelo in jail? Yes. Would he have put me in jail? Yes. We both could have put each other in jail. Okay? And we would have went to court like he said, and we would have spent thousands of dollars and bullshit, and it wouldn't have done anything. It wouldn't have done anything. So there. That's where I'm at with that. I'm not going to speak on it no more. I'm not speaking on it. It was his detectives, and that's what you don't understand. His detectives. Did I have pull with those detectives? No. But all my stuff was verified, and that's all I wanted. That's all I care about.